Welcome back. In this video we're going to create a custom cursor for our game, because for now the player is shooting in the direction of this rather ugly, uninteresting white cursor, and since the player will be staring at this for quite some time while playing the game, it's a good idea to make this more visually appealing. So in Photoshop I'll create a nice little graphic to replace the default white arrow cursor with. You could simply make a cooler looking arrow that fits your game's style, or make a nice crosshair sprite, a square or a circle, it's all up to you. I've made this circle with a slightly transparent middle, which will look cool when hovering over the environment and monsters, tinting their graphics slightly in orange. Then I'll export this into Unity, and once that's done I'll create a new UI image which I will call cursor. I'll then drag and drop the new cursor graphic I just created inside of this empty slot in the inspector. And of course scale the image slightly along the X or Y axis so it looks just right. I'm also going to make sure that the cursor is behind the orange hurt panel so that when it flashes the cursor won't still be visible. Because remember, UI elements that are on top of the hierarchy will render behind UI elements that are lower down the hierarchy. Now we need to get this image to actually follow the mouse cursor. To do so I'll create a new C# script called cursor follow, drag and drop that onto the cursor image and open it up. Inside it, all I need to do is type one single line of code inside of the update function. I just want this image's transform.position to be equal to the mouse position by typing input.mousePosition. And now you'll see that indeed the image follows the mouse cursor. Awesome. To make sure that the little white arrow becomes invisible, simply type in the start function cursor.visible equals false. And now you have a cool custom mouse cursor and the default arrow no longer appears when playing the game. And that's one more little detail that makes the game feel even better. It's a small detail, but again, it makes a nice difference. Of course, you could take this a bit further and get the cursor to change appearance when, for example, the player shoots, simply by changing the color or sprite inside of the image component whenever the left mouse button has been pressed. But I'll just leave it nice and simple like this. Now notice that if you had UI buttons you wanted the player to be able to click on, you wouldn't be able to do so because of this cursor image, because the real cursor would just detect the cursor image and not the actual buttons. But we'll take a look at how to fix that in the next section when we create the game's menus. In the meantime, great job for completing this tutorial. I'll see you in the next one where we will continue work on juicing up our game by adding sound effects. It should be loads of fun.